Welcome. Today I have as a guest a special friend of mine who actually taught me how to create podcasts. She's Emma and she's a connection and creativity coach and poet. She has the loveliest poems in the world, and you will experience one of her guided meditation today's in our podcast interview. So welcome Emma.
You're about to say welcome podcast.
Yes.
Oh, thank you so
Welcome.
much for having me on this special podcast. It's really amazing for me when I guide people through building their own to actually then become a guest on this show.
Yeah.
It's so cool, and to have you as such a beautiful friend in my life as well. I feel really honored to be here.
Thank you, my love. Me as well to have you. I cannot wait to be to surrender in your poetry arms.
I might read a special one as well
Oh.
for everyone after the meditation as well, and that will guide us into an exciting episode. I think we had a beautiful
Mm-hmm.
discussion before this, so I think it will be really, really expansive for everyone tuning in.
Hmm. Sounds awesome.
Should we dive into the meditation? Awesome. Andrea, you going to join in with us as well?
Of course. I'm already with my eyes closed.
Yeah, she's ready. Okay, so I invite everyone who's tuning in, whatever time it is for you, wherever you are in the world right now, to give yourself this space to drop deeply into your body, into the now. And before we begin today's meditation, I invite you to allow yourself in this moment, in this space, to receive whatever you need to receive. When you tune into these meditations or any meditation, I invite you not to listen to the words to create meaning for yourself, and instead feel into the body, the sensations that are here, and feel the words, feel what you are here to receive. A meditation is not about quietening the mind. It's not about finding the best way to create peace in our lives. To me, a meditation is about opening a space where we can experience, where we can be with everything that exists within us. By opening that space, we can begin to get curious. Get curious about what we might be feeling in this moment. What stories might be surfacing. And the more we relax into this curiosity, the more that we soften our body. And you can do this simply by noticing where you might be holding any tension right now, and breathe into that area. And again, it's not about making the tension wrong, it's about noticing it and then choosing a new way, choosing to relax. And allow yourself to also feel into how you're breathing. Where is the breathing? Is it in your chest? And what would it take to allow the breath to move down deeply, a little bit more into your stomach? Does your breath feel quick? Does it feel slow? Noticing what's there and then asking yourself, asking the body, show me what you need in order for me to relax even more, a little bit more. and receive what is here, what I need to receive in this moment. So just invite you, listening to the music, to take a moment to do that now. If it feels supportive to you, you can do a body scan starting at the top of your head, going through the face, neck, the arms, chest and stomach. Feeling yourself connected to your seat below you and your legs. Opening, softening into your feet. The more presence you have in the body, the more fully you are here in the now. The more fully you are here in the now, the more you can receive what is here for you. What we're doing here is we're coming into connection with our bodies. So I invite you to allow this process to also be very intuitive. If there's anything that you feel that you need, that your body needs to feel nourished, to feel grounded, to feel supported in this moment, give yourself that. Give yourself permission to do that. So right now I'm rubbing my hands on my thighs, and this is helping me to be here with my body, to be here with you all now. To create this frequency where together we can come together in this field and collaborate, co-create in ease, in clarity. So as you deepen even more into the now, I invite you to bring to the surface, or allow your body to show you, something that might be creating some inner conflict with you right now. A challenge. And this can be something big or small. I invite you to allow your guidance to show you whatever that is right now, without making it wrong. And if nothing comes to you, also allowing yourself to work with what's here, and nothing has everything within it. Also. And just holding whatever it is and holding it in your heart, holding it in yourself, so you can also embody this action by placing your hands on your heart, if that calls to you, or you can simply visualize it or feel it, following your own guidance through this meditation. And as you hold this challenge that you're experiencing right now, whatever has surfaced for you, as you hold it in your heart, start to feel or visualize roots beginning to grow from the base of your heart, traveling down through your stomach, and seeing those roots go down into your pelvic area, your hips, and those roots expand outwards as they travel through your legs, through your feet, and into the floor below you. And they travel down as they meet the earth's floor as they meet with nature. See those roots that traveled from the base of your heart, from the base of that challenge in your life right now. See those roots travel down through the entirety of your body and into the earth below you. And as they kiss the earth, you start to open your heart to receive the nutrients that that challenge right now in your life needs. And there's nothing you need to do here. There's nothing that you need to seek. Allow the body to do what it naturally knows how to. All you need to do is sit back and receive. Surrender into the experience for what this experience is. I find that often when we try to understand something with the mind or create meaning around the experience, we actually limit the experience itself, the feeling that is within that experience. And that is what we're really here for, to be with the experience, not to limit it through our own perceptions, our own need to understand something that sometimes can't be understood. So just staying in this frequency and letting those roots continue to take from the earth whatever it may need to bring this challenge in your life into harmony, into balance, to receive any resources that you might need from nature to remind you of who you are. And as this nutrients travels up your roots, it also expands and deepens into every cell of your body, upgrading your way of seeing, your way of being, so that you can remember how equipped you truly are to work with this challenge, to meet with the heaviness, the depths. How resourced you are, and how resourced you are through nature. Taking a few more moments now to receive any more wisdom. And it's okay if nothing is coming to you, again, letting the process unfold. Sometimes the insights don't come till weeks later, but you're taking this first step to allow, to initiate that process. And just taking a deep breath here now. And sigh it out. Release. Now I invite you to intend for your body to release through your roots, through those roots that came from the base of your heart, anything that is ready to be returned back to the earth, anything that no longer serves you. And you don't need to identify anything in particular, just tell your body to release, show your body to release. And let those things, whatever they may be, travel back into earth, expressing your gratitude for what they have shown you, and also allowing any emotions that may intensify through this process to happen. This is normal. Intensification is good. Heaviness is good. Whatever you're experiencing, don't make it wrong. Just allow it to unfold. Let your own guidance, your own resources support this process. I'm going to take a moment of stillness here. And then placing your hands on your heart, if that feels nice to you. Calling those roots back from the earth, thanking nature for reminding you of who you are, for supporting you with this challenge. Calling your roots back up into your feet, through your legs, your hip bones, your pelvic area, your stomach, and back through into your heart. See it merge back with you. See yourself as nature, the roots that ground you to this reality and to the others that exist around you, that ground you into nature and into all that you are. And as they return into your heart, notice that challenge that you held. Take a look at it, feel it. What's different? And if nothing's different, what would it take for you to open up to new ways that may unfold through this journey that you have just been on? And just feeling whatever comes to you, seeing whatever comes to you in this moment. Just creating space for any more guidance that wants to come in, and opening that up now for you to receive it, to support you with this challenge, with this experience you're currently experiencing. And then I invite you now, where you may have been holding tight to that challenge, to that situation in your life, I invite you now to breathe some lightness into it, as if you're releasing a white dove into the air, allowing it to unfold in a way that is for your highest timeline, and knowing how nurtured and supported you will be through that unfolding. There is nothing you need to do unless it comes through that inspiration, through that excitement, through that intuition. There's nothing you should do. There's nothing expected of you. Your job is to simply be and to receive the steps in each moment by anchoring yourself, allowing yourself to be present in the now. This is where everything is. This is where life is. Give yourself permission to be there now, and know that even when the mind starts to talk and the chaos that appears to be around you that's interfering with that connection, with that ability to be present in the now, know that you also too have the capacity to hold that and still be present. Because you are the space. You are the one who knows, the only one who knows how your path is to unfold. It's all inside of you. And this journey is only a reminder to surrender into that more deeply. So a few last moments here with me now, here with everyone who's listening into this podcast. Start to bring yourself back. And slowly, when you're ready, with all the learnings and all the experience and all the blessings that you needed from this meditation to come with you, Slowly opening your eyes to be here with us now. Thank you, my loves.
Mm, that felt so good. Thank you so much for guiding this beautiful journey. Oh my God, your voice is music to my ears. I
Thank
went so
you.
deep in like a hypnotic state. That's so deep the meditation went. I love the most when you said you are the only one that knows your path. The answers are within you. I love that part so much. I feel like I resonate so much with it in this moment of my journey. And thank you. Thank you for being here and thank you for sharing your beautiful gift with us. What does it mean for you to have your answers within you and that you're the only one that knows your path?
Mm. To me, this is really a practice. This is really something that we can choose to step into every day, or we can also choose, which at times we all do, I do as well, to look for our guidance outside of ourselves. And through my experience, this has created a lot of inner conflict with my own knowing. So, to me, coming into recognizing that only I truly know the path that is unfolding from me is really an empowering decision to trust what I feel from within and let that be the foundations that my life unfolds from. People all around you, things around you, tools that you can utilize can be there to facilitate that unfolding. But if they are the foundation, then you often find yourself in a life that may not represent what your heart really wants. And there may be some lack of fulfillment or ease or clarity or joy. There might be always something that feels like it's missing. This was my experience for a long time. And beginning to recognize that only I truly knew and everything was within me allowed me to experience a life that, although still brought with it lots of challenges and opportunities for growth and learnings, really was about a representation, a mirror of my soul, and not another one's path.
Hmm. Yeah, so it's like you you're doubtful of something and you go and ask a friend and they give you an advice and then you follow that advice and you blame them. Oh my God, you gave me that advice or you influenced me in that way, and comparing to when you take your own advice and when you do based on what feels good for you, is like you cannot blame anyone. It's like your power, your responsibility. But in the same way it also brings a lot of um like awareness towards yourself and what you truly want and walking your own path and being fulfilled that what you did was based on your own influence, not what others said and what from the outside conditioning, let's say. So it gives you this inner power. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And it's a long journey because we come from conditioning. We
Mm-hmm.
don't really know how does our inner voice sounds. It's like you think that you know what's best for you, but in a way you still try to please others, or you try to you know take others into consideration when you take some decisions about your life, about your relationship. And how, from your opinion, how can you advise somebody that is still deep into conditioning to find
Mm-hmm.
their own voice?
Mm-hmm. I think there's always going to be a level of conditioning, always going to be a level of programming, because this is, and when I say always, I mean in this present moment, in our level of consciousness as a collective, because there is an essence of this still held in our collective. So, of course, there is an essence of this still held within ourselves. And we don't
Mhm.
want to make this wrong. I think it's quite often we want to shed ourselves of conditioning, shed ourselves of programs, but that's actually programs is what allows us to function here. It's what allows us to be physical, so to speak, in this reality and express ourselves in this reality. It's part of, from my understanding, it's part of this three-dimensional reality that we are existing within. So I think it's more like what you tapped into then. It's more about awareness. So recognizing, okay, when am I moving from something that perhaps is a conditioning that I've experienced in my past? And when am I moving from truth? And I think that the way that we interpret that is very unique to everybody. There are different tools like human
Mhm.
design, like astrology, that you can utilize to deeply understand that with yourself. But I still think it even goes beyond those tools of recognizing, okay, how do I and my body communicate with one another? How does my mind and my spirit communicate with one another? And that is essentially through practice,
Mhm.
carving out time in your day to deepen that understanding, to deepen that awareness. This is something I've been doing for nearly 10 years of my life, where I spend time every day to listen and hear how different those two feelings, not only how they feel, but also how they look, how they taste, how they smell. I bring my senses
Mhm.
into
Mhm.
those two different experiences, and then start to choose more from the soul, from the heart, whatever you want to call it, from the body, than
Mhm.
from my past or from my anticipation for the future. And I think what really helped me, there are three keys that I think really helped me with this process that I can pass on to the people listening. And I invite you to not take this on as truth, but take it on and hear what is here for you, in this whatever's coming through right now. One of them is presence. The more you can be now, the more that you can tune in and sense what your body is really experiencing. The sensations in your body speak truth. They will show you where you're moving from this place of tension, this place of I should,
Mhm.
which is the conditioning, the
Mhm.
programs, or this place of ease, this place, this
Mhm.
quiet, this stillness. And that will be the soul, that would be the intuition. Another key is noticing yourself, the different behaviors that unfold when you choose conditioning and when you choose intuition or inner
Mhm.
voice. So, for example, with me, I can see that the behaviors that unfold when I'm choosing something out of conditioning often are more chaotic, more frantic, more overthinking, more
Mhm.
anxiety driven. Whereas the behaviors that unfold from when I choose the guidance of my soul from intuition, it's more easeful. It feels, even if it's challenging and even if it means I take steps that are a little bit more difficult, it will feel easeful. It will feel very relaxed. It will
Mhm.
feel like I can go at my own pace. It will feel regulating.
Mm.
And the third key is recognizing how you interpret your own guidance system. So I'm a very visual person, and through
Mm.
understanding I'm a very visual person, when my soul speaks to me or when this deeper guidance speaks to me, I often receive visions, but the visions themselves are not so much, they don't have emotion in them. They're just kind of there. It's just like picking up something and looking at it without having any meaning about it. You
Mhm.
see the vision, and then the meaning is just felt in a way.
Mhm.
And then, so for you, you could be more feeling based. You could be more auditory, so sound based. You could be more even smell. Some people don't receive guidance in any way, shape, or form, but they just have a kind of deeper knowing about things. So learning to practice and investigate this, how it speaks to you and how you interpret it, and then noticing, okay, how does my conditioning, how does my past versions of myself speak to me? So the past versions of Emma speak to me in a very panicky way. They kind of make me feel suddenly
Mm,
like I need to get up and like run 100K or something. They're very
mm-hmm,
panicky. So I've learned
mm-hmm.
to discern these two voices. And this is, so these three keys is really really a toolkit that you can use to practice to discern, and at the same time recognizing that there's always going to be an element of conditioning. There's always going to be, well, perhaps there's always going to be an element of conditioning and programming. So to not make it wrong when you make that decision from that space, and instead go into, okay, what am I here to experience? What am I here to learn by choosing this path?
Wow, I love the points that you shared in such a structured way, but with a lot of foundation underneath them. And I think, yeah, we should have a system in connecting with our bodies. And a few things that I want to share based on what you said is that I feel like, as with any relationship, it takes time to build a connection. So the more you meet with your body every day, the more practices that you do, the more that you listen to your voice, you can tune into how does that inner voice sounds, what who is you, what is conditioning, what's your mother voice, and also recognizing all these voices, like when you're critic with yourself, who is this voice of? Is your mother's voice maybe? Or when you're loving with yourself, who is this voice of? And recognizes all these voices, and the more you meet with your body and the deeper you get, the more you'll be able to recognize your own unique flavor of your voice. And it's all about also experimentation, like trying, as you said, like um, talking with different tones and experimenting in different ways. uh, the voices that you're listening to and the actions that you're implementing based on the intuition that you get, and seeing which one feel authentic, and feel what's not, what doesn't feel authentic. And as you said, the clues of your intuition and of your internal relationship with yourself is based on a body, so on your body. So if you feel urgency, or as you said, panicky voice, or like you need to do this now, or you need to take this action out, this usually comes from conditioning. When it's your authentic voice and it's your soul voice, it comes with patience, with time, with alignment. It comes with like as an aligned step that you can take without feeling the pressure to do it now. And as you said, like all these are old programs, and probably we will always have conditioning, but I think we can shift that conditioning into new programs, into more positive programs, right? Because we can condition ourselves for the better. Like for me, I used to wake up in the morning and get on social media, and I would like have a chaotic day after that, because I would like imprinted myself with all these energies from watching TikToks, and like getting in on Instagram and starting to compare myself with other people. But then I used conditioning to prime myself as a positive reward with watching social media. So now, first, I wake up and I go to the gym at 7 a.m. And then I use the social media to reward myself for going to the gym. So I condition myself with something that I used to do and was um, like an addiction, let's say. I use it now to complement a good habit that I'm trying to implement. And it works perfectly. Like I cannot wait to go to the gym, because I know that I then get home and I like spend time on, like, scroll on TikTok and have laugh at funny memes and things like that. So we can create new programs, and we can shift the old negative conditioning into a good conditioning. And my last question for you, Emma, would be for you to tell me a little bit about your um, mm, the biggest pillar in your business, which is connection and creativity.
Mm.
Why did you choose these two concepts, and how they are connected? And why is When we are connected with ourselves, we are also more creative, if we can get a little bit into this.
Yeah, I think there's something that goes hand in hand. It's like salt and pepper to me.
Mm,
Like they really are these two two important factors to everything that we do, whether it's within our business, in our life, and naturally who we are. If you believe in this, is naturally we are creators. This is
mm-hmm,
the essence of who we are. And creators doesn't mean that you have to become an entrepreneur. It doesn't mean that you have to be an artist. It's
mm-hmm,
simply like this desire for expansion, this desire for new things, the blooming, the fun in enjoying the journey, in going out and admiring the flowers around you, like these simple things. This is all creative too. It's because we're following, it's more an energetic thing and a process than it is this physical kind of idea that we've got of what a creation is. To me,
mm-hmm,
creativity is an energy that anyone, whether you think you're creative or not, can tap into, because we are all creative. It's just kind of finding our own unique expression of that. So
mm-hmm,
for some people's version of creativity, it could be being an artist, painting, drawing. But creativity is also, I've been a lot of my life as a project manager, and I see so much creativity in building these gorgeous organizational structures and systems. This is
mm-hmm,
also creativity. It's just the way we approach these tasks and these things, and the energy of creativity to me is like fresh. It's fluid, it's fun, and it also, when we experience these moments of like what we would call a creativity block, it's because we've kind of put a perfectionist idea or a limitation on that creativity. And creativity does not thrive in limitation, it thrives in letting itself be, letting itself flow, What creativity does thrive in is structures, is having
mm-hmm,
beautiful structures. So, like a river has two banks either side of it, and it flows within those two banks. And it flows because it's kept in this beautiful container. So even more expanded than structures, I would say, is containers, to have this space where that creativity can flow. So creativity, for example, its expression is flow, and then how that expression is then manifested or expanded is through the structure, is through the container. And this is important in whatever you choose to do in your life, whether that's professionally or personally, because we all need this space to allow that energy to flow. Um, we all need this container to ground down what we're experiencing within. So creativity
mm-hmm,
as well is like expression of emotions. This is also a creative process. So how you do
mm-hmm,
that with yourself too. And the connection element, the connection pillar, is really allowing that creativity, of that creative energy, to flow from the inside out. So starting from that inner core,
mm-hmm,
starting from connecting to whatever you want to call it, soul, spirit, or even going as simply as like connecting to the heart, connecting to the body, connecting to yourself, whatever,
mm-hmm,
however feels good to you to say this, that as the foundation for that connection, for that creativity to flow through, because you've started from you and not, okay, I want to create now, let's look at what everyone else is doing, or I want to build something, let's look at what everyone else is doing. I want to express my emotions, let's see how everyone else is expressing their emotions. Starting from within then allows that flow, that creativity, to feel not only in an aligned way, but also creates a sense of fulfillment. And it's really strange because I think about, like, for example, a few weeks ago, I was at my great auntie's funeral, and the way that I was grieving was very, very vocal, and I was allowing that. And to me, this is creativity process too. It's
Mm-hmm.
expressing my emotions. So I like to dance a lot and to move. And I was thinking to myself while I was at the funeral, because I was watching via Zoom, should I be expressing this in the way that everyone else is expressing this at the funeral? But the connection with myself knows, no, actually, grief wants to move through me in this way. It wants to express in this way. And that's the creation. But the connection allowed it to happen in a way that was supportive, nourishing for me. And then what then happens is even the challenging experiences or the challenging emotions become almost, it's like it's the same, it's on the same frequency as if you're feeling anything else, because all of the emotions, it's like the release and the expression of it is the thing that we really want. So it's nourishing to feel grief in my own way, it's nourishing to feel anger in my own way. And because I have that connection first, it allows then that creativity, that expression to come through. Whereas if my connection to self is placed in what others are doing or what's expected of me, then that doesn't flow with ease. It doesn't flow with fulfillment. It will then create this idea of like who I should be. And then we kind of create this inner conflict with ourselves. So, to answer your question, the two pillars of connection and creativity, it's important to me because it's the foundation for life, it's the foundation for
Mm-hmm.
experiencing this life. And they go so hand in hand because they are entwined in every experience that we have, even if we don't necessarily call something creative or connection. They really are at the core of every experience we have. And if we can begin to allow that experience to be from the inside out, then we are essentially experiencing a life that is representative of what our soul wants, and not, again, what the outside world wants for us.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. I understand completely how you connected everything and how indeed, like, when we are in our alignment, in our soul, in our authentic self, we can feel connected with ourselves, both with others, and also from this connection we can be creative. We can be creative with anything in our lives. Like, since how from how you start your morning and how you eat your food and how you spend your day, and everything can be creative. And I love that. And I would love for you to share what projects are you working on right now? What containers do you offer? I know that you started offering poetry groups in Ibiza, and I cannot wait to be part of those. I know that you have different containers for different periods of time. So I will leave at the end all your links in in the description, but I would love for you to also share with us what you
Mm-hmm.
currently offer to your clients.
Oh, thank you for that space. Yeah, the best way to connect in with me is to go to my Instagram and to go to the link in my bio, which will take you through to my website. So,
Love, I think I mute you by mistake.
I'm back.
I tried to mute myself. Sorry. Okay, so can you say from the beginning, please?
Yeah, yeah. So if you head to my Instagram, this is the best place to connect with me, and you go to the link in my bio, you'll be able to go into detail of all my offers there. My most prominent one is my 1-to-1 6-month creativity and connection coaching. So that's a really beautiful journey for artists, entrepreneurs, creatives to really begin to deepen those internal foundations and then allow that to be the the portal for more experienced expression, more nourishing expression. And this is what then creates that life of real ease and clarity and fulfillment. And then I also do events. So the events are at the moment here in Ibiza. So these are Connect and Create events. Again, similar to my one-to-one work, but we do these in groups. So this is a really beautiful space to really connect in with other like-minded individuals, also come into flow, allow these creative processes to unfold and work with the resistance. And I guess you can explore my work and see what one calls to you, but I would invite you to come into this work if you're someone who's really focused about the internal world first. So something I write on my website is this work is not about seeing the external results or creating those. Of course they do come, but this work that I hold space for is really about nourishing the internal world, working with really challenging emotions, and beginning to come into this space of acceptance and love for self, and let that be the foundation that you live your life by.
Mhm. Beautiful. I love how your theme of creativity and connection transpires to all of your offers, all what you do in person and online, and how you are and how you everything. Thank you for sharing that with us. And for me, what's been alive lately is to ask for daily guidance. It's because when we think in advance, we may feel overwhelmed. We may think of 2023 and what goals we try to manifest, and how we want our business to look like, how much money we want to make, and we may get overwhelmed. And instead of doing an aligned action, we may, procrastinate or be resistant towards doing the actual steps. So, what felt creative for me to bring into the world at the beginning of 2023 is a 21-day challenge where you can connect daily with yourself, as we talked earlier in the podcast, and to find your answers within, to uncover your true authentic voice, and to create a year, but day by day, where you receive aligned guidance for your unique needs, for your unique journey. And how can you do that? You can do that by morning practices, by affirmations, meditations, hypnosis, journaling practice, so you can create a more conscious 2023 ahead. And I will leave the link for the Conscious Creator Challenge as well. I feel like this year is a theme around creativity collectively, like we go to a next level from traditional business or having coaching clients to be creative with how can I share my gifts creatively in the world. And creativity is such a beautiful, term and also theme to work on. So I will leave the links both for Emma's offerings and mine below underneath the podcast. Thank you so much for being with us today, for participating in the meditation in the beginning, and thank you so much, Emma, for sharing your gifts with us and for guiding us in that beautiful journey. I still feel a little bit dizzy, so if I like stumbled, or I like was a little bit all over the place in the podcast, was because I feel in the hypnotic state. So thank you for leading that for us.
Thank you for the space, and thank you to everyone who's tuned in.
Thank you as well. And thank you. See you at the next episode. Bye.
Bye.